individually, state your names and what you do for a living.
My name's Hannah Taylor. I'm from Gornal, Black Country.
Okay.
I work with mental spaces, doing communications and running the arts fair. And I also work at University of Wolverhampton with disabled students.
My name is Corin Stephenson-Salter. I'm the art director of the ASYLUM Gallery and founder member of Mental Spaces.
Now, Hannah, how long have you been doing your job as communications officer?
18 months.
And also Corin.
I was a graphic designer in Brixton for 15 years and a video artist for the same amount of time. I came back to Bridgemore 2 years ago and tried to establish an art gallery because I used to do pop-up shops and live events all around South London. So I wanted to reinvigorate the local area and create an artist quarter in Chapel House.
Pop-up shops, that sounds really interesting. How did that come about?
In particularly Crystal Palace and Brixton, the local councils are very good in utilising empty space. So they give it to artists for weekends to do events. And I think that model is the best. It's always artists that regenerate cheap areas or derogatory space.
So can you tell us a little bit more about mental spaces and the ASYLUM Gallery, please?
Well, it started as an ASYLUM Gallery in November 2013. Yeah. And it started essentially as a free art space. And then because there was so much interest and the collective grew and grew, and we had more people come on the team who could kind of support us technically and with graphics and things like that. We went and found the office spaces in New Hampton Arts Centre, and it's just kept growing. So now we have the office space, consultation space, an art library, both physical and online.
The asylum's set up principally to help artists with mental illness and addiction, and to give space for people who have been disenfranchised. We're a collection of it's set up as an anarcho-syndicalist organisation. We're all volunteers. The space is given completely free. We've designed it now so we're sustainable with funding and sponsorship. But it's not a commercial enterprise, it's to bring art to deprived areas. That is the prime motivation.
Where do most people hear about you?
A combination of all the different social medias, word of mouth. So we've got quite a few affiliates now and companies attached to us because of the Artists Quarter. What happened was that because there was a centre, like a focus for people to come and be together and exchange ideas, and there was the exhibitions happening 2-3 times a month. This is where Artists Quarter kind of developed from. So we've also got Creative Black Country and Creative Wolverhampton and Turning Point West Midlands help us advertise things, and it's just kind of grown and grown.
Can anyone use the facility, or do they have to have mental problems?
No, it's open to everybody. We have very high-ranking professional artists, members of Wolverhampton Society of Artists, but as the space is free, people who've just graduated, like Hannah, who's a performance artist who we gave the space to. It's a very good opportunity for their CVs to progress their education. And again, the point of the asylum is that you have physical space where people can meet. There's societies is now, even with Facebook, which I do not like at all.
Does its job.
Artists have a tendency to become isolated.
There's that lack of support when you leave education to then how you're supposed to take that work to market. So when I was at university, there was no module where I was told how to put my work into spaces, how to talk to people who own spaces and galleries, how to market, how to promote myself. And it was only through finding these guys that I've then learnt that. They're ticking
Yeah.
boxes,
That's
but they're
it.
not practically helping you apply it in the real world.
Westworld TVF.
Did you know that this area where we are now, it's the council in this instance that did designate this as the artists' quarter, yet you've organically created something there in Chapel Ash?
They have a different agenda, don't they, the council, to actual artists working together for each other.
It comes down to political will. In the 90s, I think, when Princess Ali was set up, there was money to be spent, and politicians in power at that time saw the value in art. I think for every pound spent developing cultural practice and art in the community, it generates £10 of additional income. But with other political people, they're Philistines, and it's almost in their interest to destroy cultural centres. If you look at areas like Bristol, they have magnificent Brixton, Crystal Palace, they have magnificent assistants, but with cuts and the present political climate, these things become increasingly difficult.
You have exhibitions quite regularly. Can you tell us a little bit more about who participates in those and how you go about organising those?
Well, they're every 2 weeks, so lots of stress. We accumulate new artists pretty much, if not every day, every week.
But we get, at present, we get 5 or 6 new artists contacting us every day, wanting to do exhibitions. With our move to New Hampton, we have a magnificent gallery hall that can accumulate 35 to 40 artists. So we do an art fair once every 4 months, which is designed to promote everybody and to give the artists an opportunity to sell their work. We partner up with Eagle Works, and we do, after exhibitions, we do music events at the Clarendon Hotel and the company, and we do other festivals like Junction and City of Sanctuary.
Your partnership with Eagleworks, for example, how does that work? Do you put events on at each other's venue?
Eagleworks is famously insular, and for 30 years has been almost a closed citadel. And their artists heard about the Asylum and came to our shows, and they would see 80 to 120 people, music, drink, having a good time, and then their exhibitions would have 12 people, and it wasn't. So it's obviously in their interest to partner up with us. So we do co-promotion, and where possible we do linking up different cultural events. So we'll have exhibitions contemporaneously that's Asylum and Eagleworks with music afterwards. So it's we can cater for lots of different tastes.
What's the difference between your exhibitions and an arts fair?
The Asylum is roughly 30 foot square, so it's one room. So it
Solo shows.
generally caters for solo shows. That's what works best. The main gallery hall at the New Hampton Arts Centre is obviously a public space. We've brought a couple of artists who've got studios, and the size just caters for 40 artists.
We've got 37 visual artists in this particular arts fair, and then we've got 12 spoken word performers, 6 electronic music producers, and we've got dancers, and we've got all hands on deck, which obviously run their own events. So it ends up being close to 60 participants all collaborating together. So it becomes it becomes an art community rather than just solo shows.